and welcome to the J-Cast. Everyone here required to have a J name. Jacob will join us later, as will Joanna and
Jesus.
Jesus will come down from on high and tell you that he really, really likes the Hunger Games.
Oh, we actually do have some emails.
Do we?
Yeah, we actually got a couple emails that I should add into the doc.
Well, we should do that. So we'll do that. We'll do that as part of emails later. But yeah, we're doing the second one of these. We're going to talk about all the other stuff beyond the other show that we do, where we obsess about colorful mares and stuff like that. I'm gonna alternate these, so we'll talk about, of course, if you like Bronyville, we'll talk about 2 episodes next week. But this week we're gonna just kind of geek out and do whatever we have this week. Also, we're gonna play with the format just a little bit. I've got some plans, kind of to give you guys some more content over time. So we'll do that. First off, having a new format is so weird now because we gotta figure out what the heck we gotta do with this. I guess we gotta do sponsor. We Love Fine. We love them. They make tons of stuff like cool Marvel things and let's see. Gotta pull it up. I think they have. I noticed a cat bug wallet they have now. Yep. That you can now put in your cat bug bag. You can enjoy all the cat buggery. Sabrina picked up a bunch of stuff. Actually, let me grab that box because it's right over here. She'd made her giant purchase of things that she bought nothing for her loving boyfriend in that time, so... This will be great for the audio podcast, but here's her. She got herself a TARDIS sweater. Very cool, deep blue police box sweater. Let's see, a bunch of... Here's the bag of random swag. Fluttershy perfume she picked up. Wasn't there some leggings you got as well?
So the question is, Fluttershy perfume, does it smell like a horse and does like hay and poo? I mean, what does Fluttershy smell like?
It smells like meekness and... What? Well, alright, explain it. How does a Fluttershy perfume smell? I could, but I'm going to say it smells like perfume. Like, I have...
Starry, you have to understand that AC's a dude. He doesn't know how to explain these things. We need some girl magic.
I just find it funny she purchased perfume because it had a yellow horse on it.
Oh! Ooh!
So you spent $100 to get Fluttershy perfume on We Love Fine using the coupon code Bronyville10. But let's see.
Clever.
This was probably my favorite thing she got, which is this really awesome stylized shirt. Tokidoki. It's a Asian lady with a burger, and it's got a tiny American flag. It's pretty awesome. And
America.
Then some TARDIS leggings. They got
that
police
makes no
boxes.
sense, but it's awesome.
Yeah. And regarding the name usage, it's hard. You know, like I said, we've been working with pseudonyms for so long.
So, I don't care if someone calls me AC. I could just go to JC, but then, I didn't ask for this, so.
Yeah, and then you keep getting nailed for everything you did wrong. Or right.
Pretty much. Have to make all these moral decisions for everyone else. No one else can ever make a decision.
And you have to make this long developed plan.
So yeah, We Love Fine. Go check them out. WeLoveFine.com. Bronyville10 gets you 10% off. We should we should talk to them and get another coupon code set up for whatever the show ends up turning out to be. That'll probably be a smart idea. And I think that's it. Audiostratus.com is my thing. Still chugging along. Please sign up if you have not already and do audio editing or interested in audio setup, getting up our mailing list. I've got the Google ready. I've started doing networking. Everything is starting on its path. So that is,
So when are you going to have an actual piece of software to kick Skype in the nuts, so to speak?
I don't know. How you going to send me some cash to make this happen? I guess. Yeah. Well, it's not so much to kick Skype in the pants, though. God, we're doing this on Skype right now as I badmouth Skype and say how much its quality sometimes sounds like a butt. But why is everyone joshing in the chat?
They're just joshing you.
No, I have a contractor right now working on getting the framework set up, so figuring out how to piece everything together. We're going to build off of, not use, based off of the Mumble technology. So we're going to, play with and figure out how to code, use some of the tools and some of the methodologies learned in the Mumble platform, but build it in our own language. So we kind of can work off of that a little bit, which is good because we'll have our own that takes care of a little bit of that. And then I've just been going around telling people about how it is. Went to a Bay Area networking meetup and met a whole bunch of people, and for the most part, people went, "Huh." And I went, all right, that was 2 hours of practicing my elevator pitch. Gotcha. But that is that's what I'm doing right now. So at some point, this will hopefully turn into a job. I'm hoping by the end of the year. So we'll see how that goes.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be nuts. All right, well, let's go ahead and move forward. Let's talk a little bit first about the stuff that we have been into. What kind of crazy? So Jeremy, what's been up?
Oh man, see, I've been picking up comics and watching anime and doing TV. I mean, there's so much more to the world than just ponies.
Gross.
It's crazy.
Gross.
I know, right? I've been reading Star Wars Legacy. The first couple issues I've picked up. Haven't been back to my local comic shop to pick up the next couple. I think there's a few. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Annual, which is actually a pretty good little self-contained story. Eastman and Waltz. There's a little dedication to Peter Lear in the front side. Has a little, and it's just a standalone story. And really, I'm surprised they've maintained the art style. It's really gritty, black and white.
Of the classic Turtles, you mean?
Yeah, the classic Turtles. It's the what they've done is they've relaunched the Ninja Turtles as a comic with at least Eastman involved, and they've found a way to kind of merge some of the cartoon stuff, some of the older comic stuff into the actual world of the comics, but it retains the 80s grimy, dirty, black and white style. I picked it up a few weeks ago. It's, a $9 comic. It's a little overpriced, I guess. It's significantly long, I guess.
Is it a trade or is it just a standard comic?
It's like a half trade, I guess. It's the annual, which I don't even really know how to comic book terminology. I don't know. It's not a standard comic. It's about maybe 100 pages. That was really good.
That's a long comic.
Yeah, actually, it took me a while to flip through it because it's also very, very dense. The art and the panels are not very big, but the art itself is really, really, really dense.
Yo, girl, your art's so dense.
Well, I mean,
that's what I like. I hate when you read a comic and then you just thumb through it in about 5 minutes. You're like, wow, that was thanks for nothing,
Yeah, well, that's actually kind of just discussion-wise. I mean, Star Wars Legacy, it's an interesting start, but the comics themselves, for being $3 comics, are actually pretty short.
And I mean,
not many people buy floppies anymore for that reason.
Well, you better get ready to the Star Wars comics because they're gone by the end of the year, right?
the Legacy and all that. Yeah, because Dark Horse didn't Dark Horse lose the rights?
They lost the rights because Marvel now owns, all that Star Wars is now owned under Disney, who also owns Marvel. So now all the Star Wars stuff is moving over to Marvel.
So I should probably not get too deep into the Legacy storyline because, it does have an expiration date on it, now that I think about it. I just figured, hey, it's a descendant of Han Solo who's kind of lives a crappy life similar to Luke on Tatooine, except she doesn't live on Tatooine. And it's in the Legacy era. 138 years post Yavin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sounds like they're going to do their full reboot, good, maybe good on them, because good lord. Do you want to talk about some expanded history crazy BS? Go look at the crazy history of Luke becomes a Sith eventually after making another Jedi Academy, and now Leia and Han have kids and they're Jedis as well, and there is the Force baddies that you can't hit with the Force, and they're bad, and
then there's the Galaxy Destroyer.
Yeah. And the Sun Crusher.
That's what it was.
Yes. The impervium plated starship that can fly through a Star Destroyer, and did so, Kip Duron, and has a weapon that destabilizes stars and wipes out entire solar systems.
What is better, impervium or unobtainium?
I don't even know what it was called in the stories. I just remember reading them as a kid and thinking, I thought they were kind of cool when I was a kid, because I read a lot of the Star Wars EU, because now we can actually translation into that a little bit about the whole EU thing. I read most of those up until the Yuuzhan Vong, and if we want to have an episode about what the hell Star Wars, I have some friends that will go on for a couple hours.
Is that like a Yo MTV Cribs is just like...
Yo, I know some guys who would love to talk about subject. Because, seriously, if you want to get people grumpy about Star Wars and EU and the comics, I know some people.
Well, I think when the new movies come out, the Star Wars fandom is going to explode with all the people who are super obsessed, who believe in the expanded universe is going to go ape crazy over whatever J.J. Abrams decides to do, because whatever he does, it's not going to be right as far as the hardcore fans are concerned.
Well, but everything we've heard about the movie is that they're bringing back the big three. So you're going to see some Hamill, you're going to see Harrison Ford, and Carrie Fisher, God love her, is going to get her next paycheck to buy another line. So,
man, those guys are really old as hell.
It was made 30, 40 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that they're getting those three, I really hope they're in the first 5 minutes and then they get killed off. And then it's a story about somebody else.
It's fine if they want to be ancillary characters, just in the background, Or,
So you want it to be the opposite of what happened in the latest Indiana Jones movie, where it's just we're going to toss out, we're going to give the torch, it's going to be okay. You may not have a lot of confidence in Shia LaBeouf, but we'll give it. And it's just kind of nah, Harrison Ford's just going to Harrison Ford this whole damn thing. It's okay, well.
Yeah.
Some point he'll die.
Shocker. I did pick up the Pony comic, but we can save that discussion for next week.
We can talk about it now. I don't care. I haven't seen it.
It's
more horse.
Cool. It's more horse. It's
I think it deserves being discussed if we do this, because it is a top 100 comic.
Yeah, it's Heather Newfer, Meberson, and Breckle. Amy Meberson and Heather Breckle. Basically, it has some really good expressions, and the ponies are trying to save their books by going into them to save the stories from the nefarious bookworm. And then they'll realize that the changes they're making in the stories stick. But then towards the end of the stories, they find out that, oh no, the characters from the stories that are being eaten are being popped out into the real world. Daring Do is the first.
Oh no!
Daring Do is an actual real pony as opposed to the real fake pony that's in the real world in ponies.
There's going to be some Continuity.
There's some
Ah.
Are you questioning the grand timeline of ponies? Are you saying that there can be some inconsistencies from a cartoon and a comic book?
I don't believe this is correct along to the extended fandom of My Little Pony. I don't...
It's almost like there's different set of writers and different people working on the show who have different ideas that working on stuff at different times. It's amazing how that seems to be.
Wow. But at the end, the ponies that are in the books get stuck inside a great white void. But oh no, the villains from the stories have popped out. And of course they included a Loki pony and a Voldemort pony. And an evil queen pony and, you know, whatever. But the Loki pony and the Voldemort pony are just basically, hey, pop culture. Woo!
Yep. Okay, so I got to hear about this. What's this Kill a Kill thing? Because it used to be all about the big fleshy dudes running around squishing people, and then everyone's lost their mind about Kill a Kill. So what is this?
It's insane is what it is.
Yes, it is I would call it a spiritual successor to Gurren Lagann. I'm probably not pronouncing that correctly, and fans are going, "Oh God, you Texan, you can't speak English." It is a story about high school.
Oh boy!
Except this high school is a ridiculous combat academy that gives their top students uniforms that give them special powers, and the leader is this katana wielding, and it's all like student council or the big four. It's like the disciplinary committee and the intelligence committee and the sports committee and the non-sports activities committee. And the leader is the student council president. And it's this ridiculous fighting. Basically, the protagonist is trying to find the person who killed her father.
Yeah.
She finds this She finds a magic schoolgirl uniform that transforms to be somehow more skimpy.
Yeah.
And she fights with a sword that looks like a scissor.
Yeah.
And it's like a fight of the week for a little bit. Then they have their big four fight. Oh, it's so hard to describe.
It's just so over the top ridiculous.
You're not
like
selling me.
I am not selling it. Basically, it's incredibly over-the-top action with, if you like, butts and tits.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
sold.
that was.
It's on Crunchyroll. You can watch it. It's pretty
It's on
cool.
Hulu Plus as well.
Is it,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is it better than?
It's on regular Hulu. It's on regular Hulu.
The last like kids fighting in a high school that featured a lot of tits and ass I saw was High School of the Dead, and I just went, this is unwatchable.
Yeah, well, in this particular case, Kill la Kill is much more comedic. They don't have a lot. It's not super grim, super dark, nothing like that. It's an anime that kind of understands it's an anime.
It knows it's ridiculous, and it definitely plays it up.
Yeah, the secret organization that's trying to fight the school and its crazy ideas is called Nudist Beach. And
I haven't gotten that far yet.
and it's basically they're trying to stop the clothes-based tyranny of this school and the student council president's mother, who makes magical clothing, and it's this weird ideology that they have as the antagonists. You know, when it comes to Attack on Titan, it's really easy to explain. It's giants eat people, protagonist wants to kill all giants that eat people. Surprise, he turns into a giant that can also eat people, but he fights the giants that actually eat people.
Ah, spoiler.
Yeah, it's pretty much the show.
And lots and lots of characters die.
Yeah, that sounded like one of those of just like, don't get too involved with someone, they're gonna die.
Yeah, it's like George R.R. Martin wrote this one.
They have the red dinner. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, where the dinner is the actual characters.
All right, so let's see. Dog Days. What's that?
Dog Days is the complete and utter reversal of Kill la Kill. It is a hyper cute anime series about the magical battles between anime cat people and anime dog people. And the protagonist is pulled from the world as your usual shonen hero would be, because he is the athletic hero that they need. And he gets sucked into this alternate reality where cute anime girls with cat ears ride chocobos, and all their battles are basically sporting events where nobody gets hurt.
Does he become somebody's senpai?
He becomes the hero, and yeah, kind of, sort of.
He becomes the senpai.
Senpai notices you and hits you with his magical staff, and you turn into a little puffball.
Hey, watch it now. This is kids may listen to this. Watch that. Oh, Senpai, hit me with your magical staff.
It's innuendo.
The thing is, it is about the most straightforward anime. It's like, yeah, all right, I've learned this. They don't spend episodes going, well, how do I master my abilities? The character is naturally athletic, and basically it's stuff's explained to him in like 30 seconds, and he's like, that sounds cool, okay, and goes right into battle and battles, and it's a war, but they treat it like a sporting event, and they have like announcers, and they keep score. It is the silliest little anime. And it's super cute. I mean, if you can appreciate anime cat girls and anime dog people, it's a good mindless show. And certainly it's a good old, no, I wouldn't say an alternative, but a good remedy to, after watching, really over the top violent stuff.
It's a good palate cleanser.
It's a good palate cleanser for things like Titan and Kill la Kill, I guess, in a way. And it's got 2 seasons, 26 episodes worth on Crunchyroll, and the 3rd season's coming out. It's cute. Instead of cute horses doing cute things, it's cute anime people doing cute things. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, that sounds a little bit closer to, what I'd end up.
Yeah, it's not like I'm suggesting people should watch Black Butler. You shouldn't watch Black Butler.
No, it's like the first 3 episodes of Madoka opposed to the remaining 7.
Oh my god, Madoka.
I still feel like I have to finish that.
The first episode of that. I need to get back into that because I'm waiting for it to get something besides what it appears to be. So, but it's like I got 15 minutes in the first episode and I stopped.
Madoka?
Yeah.
You may have won.
I guess I didn't give it much of a chance.
Well, I think it's for the best. If you don't want to be scarred by Madoka, you don't need to watch it.
I just came here for the...
It sounds interesting.
You really...
I hear the horror stories, and it makes me interested.
Really, it does get... It's considerably dark for what it first appears to be. Like, if you just walk in and be like, Madoka, huh, this looks like... I really like... I really like Cardcaptor Sakura. Sure, let me go check out Madoka. Then you are going to have a bad time. Like, just so you know. But if you go in going like, hey, just so you know, this gets really screwed up. Like, congratulations, nobody's happy screwed up. There's no winners, everyone's a loser. Then you understand it.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm definitely watching it.
So,
yeah, it's an anime that is a deconstruction of the entire magical girl genre. It's like if you watch Nanoha or Magical or Strike, whatever. There's some series out there that are just straightforward magical girl. This is the deconstruction of that entire genre. It gives the implications of what being a magical girl would actually entail, at least by the rules of this universe.
What was that one show a couple years ago, Pony Poemi? That was like a magical girl show.
No.
Ugh.
That was done by
same guy that did
Shinichiro Watanabe. He did XL Saga.
Oh, God.
Yeah, and it was amazing.
I wouldn't say amazing. It was like watching your brain cells leak out of your ear.
Yes.
And kind of just having this just bizarre smile on your face of like, is this a thing? Did someone pay someone to do this? Someone got money from this?
I loved
Yeah.
the Excel Saga too. That was great.
I did too, and not many animes can say that they've killed a voice actress vocal cords so much they had to actually swap mid-season.
Yeah, I thought they both did a great job, but the original Excel was just amazing.
I
I forget who the actress was.
Someone's like, I liked Arimo. You mean my little sister can't be this cute? No.
What?
No.
All right, let's leave it there.
One thing though that I do like to do is I go on Crunchyroll and I just will pick an anime at random and I'll watch the first couple episodes. And it's a good way to kill time and a good way to expand your horizons a bit. But there's a lot of really shitty anime out there.
No kidding.
Yeah. And other than that, I've been watching Kamen Rider Dino. I pirated that one because it's not available in the US. It's the one that M suggested, hey, if you want to watch Kamen Rider, you should maybe start with this one.
And then it's the Gateway Camden.
It's the Gateway Kamen Rider, and it is it's pretty funny. It's a more comedic one. Like the protagonist is kind of a loser, but he gets, he has to use his powers to save time. So it has like a time travel theme, and it's a time train.
Yeah,
it's goofy, and it follows many of the things you would expect. They all have a motorbike and they transform and they have a goofy belt. And they yell Henshin and stuff happens. I recommend you look it up if you like. If you like that style, Power Rangers style TV shows, and you want to turn your brain off and just watch it, it's a good show.
I wouldn't mind having something in the background that is just silly people running around in rubber suits, just looking up and just going like, check out that dude.
The rubber suits in the first few episodes are pretty good because they're just goofy as hell.
Then they get their funding and they're just like, aw, come on. Let me see the dopey rubber poo monster run across the screen again. Come on.
This guy looks like a bat, but you can totally tell this costume is made from bike protective gear.
They just took a whole bunch of bicycle tires and just looped them together. It was like the Michelin Man.
But yeah, it has like a couple movies, but because it's a popular enough series of that, you can find it online pretty easy.
So I have just a general question because I know it's all based out of this. So in the past, Power Rangers always took from like the Camden Rider or some of the other series. Are they still doing that, or do they actually produce those in-house and actually make those now? Does anyone know? No, those are they're still imported. So basically what they do...
Not all of them, though, right?
Well, no. All of the series, basically, all the Power Rangers that we see in the West are basically... They take a series, or two series in some cases, and then just redo all the character interactions and keep the fighting and the monster stuff intact. Which is why, boy, California sure looks a lot like Japan.
Sure does.
It happens a lot. And it's like, man, I don't remember the Tokyo Tower being in Angel Falls. Stuff like that.
Boy, it sure does seem that we wander into this quarry a whole bunch.
Or this industrial park.
Quarry.
Or an industrial park. They always have to go to the crappy industrial section of town to fight monsters.
Makes sense when you think about it.
Yeah, but it is...
Or helps if you don't.
It's one of those things, it's like... It requires a certain mindset. It's like watching wrestling. You have to be in the right mood.
I've gotten somewhat in I had one of those wavering moments recently where it's like, I'd be interested to see where wrestling is going, but only if it's going in the most ridiculous path possible. Like, I I want it to be like them going back into like this person has magical powers. Ooh, like when they get mega goofy. I'm all about it. I don't know if they're back there yet, but if they are, call me. When they all like serious of just like this dude doesn't like that dude, then I'm just like whatever. But once it gets to the max level goofy, I'm like, all right, I'm in. Oh, he carries an urn around that's his which is his brother. Fantastic. Let's go with that. Give some crazy wrestling powers.
Yes.
Is anyone else as disturbed as I am by the size of John Cena's wrists?
He his wrist muscles have muscles, and
there's nothing there. Physically, there's nothing there, but he has these giant tree trunk wrists, which is the weirdest thing to be a brick on it, you know?
He's just a walking Photoshop. He's just in real life. He's already photoshopped every part of his body.
That's how it works, you know, through the power of the WWE.
Need Photoshop.
There's no muscles there. What the hell is he building?
I don't even know. It's like he injected testosterone or something, and it just his muscles got muscles, his tendons got tendons.
I mean, what's some really good wrist exercises? Anybody know of any?
Any wrist exercise you do is working out the forearm muscles of what it is. The only thing that's at your wrist are tendons.
Yeah,
there's nothing there to build up.
Yeah, John Cena must have a lot of like wrist exercises, just spending days on end, just getting the right perfection down of really toned wrist. Hey, sweetie.
It creeps me out every time I see the Fruity Pebbles commercial. It's like that guy's wrists are not supposed to be thicker than his hand. You know, it's...
Plus, you have to consider, why is John Cena doing Fruity Pebbles commercials?
Because he's a whore. That's what you do. You do things for money.
You had to look behind you to make sure the kid wasn't there. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been consuming in terms of like anime. You know, Person Interest continues to be really good. You should watch it. They just had like a multi-part storyline, like a 2 or 3 part storyline episode. Haven't watched this week's episode yet because I bought it on iTunes and I can watch it whenever I want. And I am 1 episode away from the finale of season 1 of Supernatural. So I am like a million years behind on the whole deal with that show. But it's pretty good. It's on Netflix. So again, it's one of those I can sit down, turn off my brain, and watch goofy, not really goofy, but unserious television horror. And, it's quaint because it's one of those series that it was in 2006. So, the internet wasn't magic. But there's enough internet magic going on, and it is quaint to see. They pull out their phones, and it's an old-ass Trio or an old flip phone. And it's like, it's 2006. iPhones don't exist yet.
Look at that. They're still calling people. Ha, ha, ha.
Oh, they're using email.
Ooh.
What's that? It looks like they're using IE6.
Gross.
How do you not have a million ghost demon viruses on that computer, Dean? Gosh.
Gross. All right. Well, so this is more Sabrina's doing, but we've been watching a lot of Stargate SG-1. Like, powering probably in the past month, we've gotten to season 7. Out of 10. It's been a few months, but there's definitely been a come home each night, and she has watched more Stargate, and then I sit and watch a few episodes while I'm doing stuff and going like, this is a silly show. Like, it's one of those just like, all right, I'm not going to take this seriously. Every episode, someone is either A, going to get upset at Daniel, B, is going to try and sacrifice themselves so that they can keep going, so that the rest of the team can get going, only to be saved at the very last time. C, someone ends up dying, but is evidently going to return a few episodes later. It's silly, formulaic stupid but somewhat endearing, just generic.
Selling it.
I'm not selling it. Do it. You can come over here and try and sell it if you want to, but my interest in it is just simply one of those things of just like, I'm looking at this kind of in the similar way that I would look at an old sci-fi show from like the 60s or 70s. It's like, what to me, it's like watching the old Star Trek, where the technology is just outdated enough, and what they're doing is just outdated enough that it's hinky as hell.
I think it's
The movie was good.
What was that, sweetie?
Did you see what?
Well, my girlfriend is trying to... She should come over here and try and explain herself if she so wants to defend Stargate, since she's the one watching it.
I just said I liked the movie, and then AC said, "What's that, sweetie?" So I kind of got thrown off there.
I haven't seen the movie in a while, so I'd have to go back and see it.
Well, the movie's like the prequel to...
Come over here if you want to have this conversation! But, I actually researched that and found out more about the movie itself, and the person that played Daniel in the movie said the only reason he took the role was because he thought that the script was stupid as hell.
It's like, this is really dumb.
This is super dumb! Alright, I'll take it.
What, for the movie?
Yeah.
Aw, that makes me sad.
Aww.
It's like, this is so dumb!
It's okay. I like the guy who plays Daniel Jackson in the series much better.
Come over here and talk about it!
He's a sexy nerd.
So, so yeah, it's been just silly, and you know, I'm looking forward because we've already caught several of our friends from the General Pony stuff has showed up. Nicole Oliver was actually in the first season, so she pops up. I'm looking forward into season. John Delancey was in it a bunch. Peter New, I know, is in the 9th season, so I'm looking forward to that.
Stargate?
Of Stargate, yeah, because it's all filmed in Vancouver.
Oh.
Come over here, I'm blah, blah, blah. Come to this side if you want to talk.
Dale from Walking Dead.
Dale from Walking Dead, whatever was on it. So, next time,
Yeah.
I don't want to talk, I'm sick, and then you just start talking. Yeah, next time you're mic'd up.
No.
Hey, I just got over food poisoning, so she can come over and talk.
So,
I had a bad burger.
so
Yeah. Well, it's kind of the same with Supernatural. It's like, oh, I know that person. She was in blah. Or that was somebody who was in Dexter many years later. Or, hey, it's one of the two aunts from the old Sabrina TV show with Melissa Joan Hart.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's one of those, hey, spot the person that you've seen a million times before.
Yeah, you see him and you just go, you were in Battlestar Galactica, huh?
Oh, yeah, that.
You know, that guy. You're just like,
Oh, the chick.
oh, well, the chick, but then there was the dude that was in Battlestar Galactica. In a recent episode, he was like the mechanic guy.
Oh, I didn't recognize him.
Yeah, I recognized him. But,
Why? Was he hot?
what the shit? Okay,
Yay.
Doctor Who. So I haven't seen the latest, the Christmas one, which I understand is one of those heartbreakers.
I have not either.
I saw it.
So I won't talk about that because from what people have said, it's one of those like, it's that David Tennant, I don't want to go style of like, all right, get ready, you're gonna feel some right now. But I did see the other special, the Day of the Doctor, and that was pretty. That we waited for a bit because I was hoping that I'd be able to see it, you know, and not have to spend spend an exorbitant amount of money. Amazon wanted $8 for it. Gasp. But ended up catching it and then was like, that was damn fun. That was pretty good. You know, I don't know how much spoilery we want to go on to that. I guess considering it's been a few months, we could probably do that. But
The
Day of the Doctor.
The Day of the Doctor was really good.
Yeah.
I had no idea what was going on, but it was still pretty good. Well, I mean, I understood what was going on, but I just didn't understand where the old guy Doctor fit in, or because I had just recently started watching Doctor Who casually, which I guess is not the way to watch it. So, I mean, I understood who everybody was and the gist of what was going on, but all in all, I was kind of like, I bet there's so much that's going on here that I do not get or understand, and that's pretty much the way it was.
No, it looks like one of the
Still
people in the chat hasn't seen it yet, so I won't spoil too much. But I thought that by the end of it, they opened up some really good possibilities because they kind of removed one of the big limitations that they had for the past few seasons. So it's kind of like, oh well, all right, I guess that's a thing now. So I thought that was smart. That was really good. And the way that they did it, I could construe as maybe a little hokey. Like the way that they were just resolved. They're just like, hey, let's pal all together and figure this out. But the way that they got there, I thought was neat enough that it was pretty good. So I thoroughly enjoyed that. I need to see the end of Matt Smith's run, which that's going to be my next. Probably see if I can get that sometime soon, so that way we can just sit here and probably bawl our eyes out for a little while. Just be, I don't want him to go either.
I lost 3 doctors. 3.
3 doctors. No, all 13.
But I haven't seen the other one.
Yeah. Well, that means you need to step it up.
Okay.
Yeah, I know some people that are going back and catching the first few doctors, like started on Doctor number 1, and I'm just like, holy crap.
Well, if you ever want to do an episode about Doctor Who, I know a guy.
Maybe. You might just.
Just be like, all right, so Doctor Who, what the hell?
Yeah, I have one of those guys too.
Well,
Looks like we
he's
can
a
just
Time
do a
Lord.
series of episodes just called blank, what the hell? And just get a bunch of our friends that are like super hardcore into a show to come and gush about said show.
Isn't that what this show's supposed to be?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, is like that for future episodes of this.
Yeah.
Because it's all about the various fandoms that we and our friends are involved with.
Yeah, let's see. So moving forward on that, games-wise, I finally picked up one of my old games that I've been meaning to play for a while. So I started doing Fallout New Vegas. That had been kind of on my... I need to play this at some point, because I really liked the... I liked Fallout 3 a lot. And when Fallout New Vegas came out, it was people were like, it's not as good and it's buggy. And I'm like, all right, well, I'll wait a little bit, wait for the bugs to iron out, and then I'll play. And then it just ended up being years until I ended up doing that. So I've played it. I don't like the story as much as Fallout 3, because at least in Fallout 3 it was like, oh, you're trying to do this thing. In New Vegas, it's just like, I don't know, you're a courier. Just someone shot you in the head. Go figure out stuff. Like, okay. Like, there's not a dad or anything I need to go find? Nope. That dude shot you, so you should probably find him. Okay. I'll get on that.
It's like, this guy shot you. You should be angry.
It's like, yeah, but there's these rad scorpions over there that are trying to kill me too, so...
And the giant mosquito monsters.
Oh god, those are the worst.
I'm still playing 3.
Cazadores, or whatever they're called.
God, those are the worst, because they poison you every hit. So it's just like, oh great, I have no more anti-venom. Great, thanks. But yeah, New Vegas, it's been, I'm right now actually, so I played through and I've gotten to the point where, I'm not going to spoil too much, but I'm starting to make like the decisions regarding the platinum chip. So I kind of stopped there and decided to do some of the add-ons. So I'm doing Old World Blues right now, which is great because it's all just this kind of weird, crazy sci-fi themed, like you get transported to this lab, and there's a whole bunch of crazy, kooky, Overmind-esque tech, like machines, and the person that you're fighting has like the over-the-top, maniacal, evil scientist kind of play to him. And it's all energy weapons, and my character's all maxed out on energy weapons by this time. So it's been fun. It's kind of along the lines of the Skyrim. I'm just gonna walk over here until I notice a place I haven't been yet, and then go check it out. But yeah, I'll be interested once it actually wraps up a little bit. It's one of those where it's like, I've invested 60 hours, and I will probably invest 70 more in it just by the time I actually finish it. So it's definitely going to be a trek on it. Anybody else done any? Either of you have thoughts on New Vegas? If had you said that Alpha, you said that you hadn't. You were on 3.
Yeah, I'm still on Fallout 3. I abandoned it a while ago. And then on Xbox, they had all the DLC for like $2. So I was like, okay, I'll do that. So I bought those, and now I'm sort of getting back into it. So I think it's fine. It just bothers me because it's not a very good shooter, even though it's not supposed to be a shooter, but it is a shooter. But it's not. I think Borderlands 2 does a better job of merging those RPG and shooter elements together.
Well, it's
neat.
When you play Fallout, there's clearly times where you can see the game kind of fudge what you're doing. Like, there's been plenty of times where I've put my crosshairs on someone and blatantly missed, but the shot hit them anyway. I'm like, like, yeah, this is a single player game. If it was multiplayer, I could, understand that, but it's definitely still an RPG more than a shooter. But part of it, I know plenty of people who like mod the game to all hell to make it into shooters, or to add anything they want, or to make pretty faces, and all sorts of craziness. So I think that's also the other thing. I'm doing this without any mods whatsoever because I kind of want the straight game experience, and then maybe after the fact trying out some of the mods that could be added to it. But I'm really just interested in and just kind of experiencing the game it was created. And it's still buggy. It's still crashed a few times for me as well. So
does New Vegas use the VATS system as well?
Oh yeah.
Okay, because that's the only way to play it, because you have to use the VATS, because otherwise the guns are crap without them.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's definitely points where it's like, oh, crap, I'm going to get the crap beat out of me. And it's just like, all right, VATS, shoot it in the head every single time. I think the most annoying thing in the game has just simply been those damn flies that Jeremy was just talking about, where it's just like, you just hear a nest of them, and you're just like, crap. Flies right up to you, stings you. Crap. Get off me, you stupid thing. Yeah, they're a pain in the butt. So yeah, that's been that. The other thing, I as for other games, I really haven't played anything. The only other has been I picked up a Android game called 10 Million, which the basis of that is you are just some person locked inside of a dungeon, and you need to get 10 million points to escape. And you play, and the game is pretty much Bejeweled, except you're trying to make certain rows to fight whatever you're doing. So, okay, now I'm fighting, let's say, a skeleton. So I want to hit the skeleton with magic. So I need to line the magic attack, and that way that hits him with the magic. And, now I've gotten to a chest, so I need to unlock, and you're kind of racing against, if once you go to each hit actually knocks you further back, and once you get to the very end of the screen, you restart. It's a little bit hard to explain, but it's one of those things where you're always progressing, where you get a little bit further, and then you take whatever resources you gained, go back, level yourself up. So it's like, all right, well, now I do double damage whenever I do this, or, now I hit harder, or now I have this ability. And And then you go back in, you run it, you beat it around, it beats you, you go back, and it's just a rinse-repeat kind of cycle. I got it, and I literally probably sat there for 4 or 5 hours the first day, just going on my tablet, going like, gotta make more connect. All right, gotta make all right, now unlock, and okay, now I gotta beat it. Oh crap, it's a dragon. All right, I gotta beat the dragon. Use the special abilities. Like I'm just sitting here on my tablet, just swiping the screen like a madman. If you have a plane flight and you're just like, I've got 5 hours in the air with nothing to do. It was a great way to just spend some time of just like, all right, I've got this game and now I've got this really fun progression. So,
yeah, it looks, I'm looking at it on the, my phone and it looks insane.
Yeah.
This looks really complicated.
It's not that complicated.
Really
it's just Bejeweled. When it comes down to it, it is just Bejeweled. It is just a match 3, 4, 5 game, but it's one of those where you play and you just kind of, once you get it, you're just kind of like, all right, you look up, you go, okay, and you unlocks. All right, I'll unlock there. All right, I'll use that ability. And it's rather fun. Just, it's pretty fun, especially if you just have a period of time or you want just a game where it's just like, all right, I'm just going to, most of the time when I play, I'm not even really trying to like get the correct blocks. I'm just kind of like going like, I don't know, I can't figure. All right, cool, that got stuff. Okay, now I've got something to do. Like, I'm just kind of flailing my finger across the screen. That's fun, yeah. And that is it. All right, Alpha, what do you got?
Did we lose him?
I don't know. Did we? Is he fighting off a child?
Oh no, he's gone mute.
What'd I do?
Oh, he muted.
It's your turn to be part of the fun.
What gratuitous consumption have you engaged in?
Well, I try to like match up what you guys were doing. So like comics, I just got the special edition of Incognito by Ed Brubaker. It's a story I heard a lot about, but I never got a chance to read. And I actually got it for Christmas. And it's like the special edition, which has all the side stories and stuff to it. Haven't had a chance to read it yet, though, because I've been busy. But it sounds pretty cool. I don't know if anyone in the stream has had a chance to read this yet. But it's got a really neat premise. It's pretty much a supervillain who goes into a witness protection program. And because now he's protected, he can kind of do whatever he wants and sort of gets to hide away. And it seems pretty interesting from what I've seen so far. So I'm kind of curious to see how it turns out, because he kind of can be a good guy, but he can also be a bad guy. He can kind of do whatever he wants since he's under government protection, and no one knows it's him. And they're trying to keep him out of trouble. So it seems like a really unique idea for a story. So I like the weird stuff like that. So.
Okay, and then you had MLP.
And no one can talk about that.
Yeah, and then we kind of covered that a little bit.
Yeah, and then the Pony comics. But the thing I've been really getting into, that I'm always into, is the new Assassin's Creed.
As we can judge by your icon on Skype.
Yes. And also by half my post too. But the new Black Flag, it's really awesome. I don't know if anyone else plays or I'm the only one.
The last one that I really played was Brotherhood. I bought 3 and it's still sealed. I haven't taken the time to sit down and play it, but then I've heard that it's kind of not that great. And I'm like, I feel bad because I really enjoyed Brotherhood and 2.
Yeah.
And Ezio was pretty sweet.
3 is really good. The thing that's not very good about 3 is Connor, the character himself. I mean, the gameplay is awesome. It's got a whole bunch of new stuff they put onto it. He moves a lot better. He can combo stuff better. You can switch between your weapons. So if you because the way it is on the Xbox, on the D-pad, you can assign the secondary, like your handgun, your rope dart, your bow, to these different weapons. So whenever you counter someone, you can either one attack kill them, or you can throw them, disarm them, or do a special attack. And you can swap those out on the fly. So you can counter, shoot them, counter someone else, shoot a bow with them, counter someone else, rope dart them, and it gets pretty intense. And especially when 2 guys hit you at the same time, then it goes into a cinematic of you countering them both. So it gets pretty wild. So it's a cool game. But definitely the weakest part of that is Connor himself, and his storyline is sort of weak. How he becomes an assassin and like the stuff he does, he's pretty bland in and of himself.
Yeah,
because he's very innocent of the whole world, but he's on this whole revenge kick, which I totally understand because it kind of harkens to Ezio, like his whole family's killed, so now he wants revenge. So it's based off that. But the way he becomes an assassin is kind of dumb. Because he has like a peace pipe moment where he sees a vision, and that's how he becomes an assassin, which is kind of unnecessary.
Weird.
That's kind of silly.
Because Ezio was all just kind of like the thing, like, "Hey, I'm a ladies' man. You know, I like the girls and all these things." It's just like, "Oh, you screw with my family, I'll stab you."
Yeah, and the cool thing about him is that he changes through all 3 of his games. The first one, you know, he's that just that. Goofy kid who like just wants to have sex and have fun and stuff, and his family dies and becomes super revengeful, but then he grows in that game. Then by Brotherhood, he's trying to like bring the, you know, assassin Brotherhood back together, and by Revelations, he's an old guy who's trying to like find out the history and why everything is the way it is. So he was such a cooler character, and Connor falls flat just because he's a one-note character, and there's nothing different at him from the beginning. He's the same guy, except now he has wrist blades.
So what's the name of the pirate guy?
That is Edward Kenway, who is Connor's grandfather. So now the cool thing about like, because you start off AC3 playing as Connor's father, Hatham, and you think he's an assassin until you find out he's actually a turncoat and he's actually a Templar, and so you kind of have to kill your dad in AC3, which is kind of one of the main goals of the story, which is kind of neat. And that part's kind of cool, but still, Connor himself is boring. But AC4 just takes everything they tried to do in AC3 and builds it up to where it makes a lot more sense. Edward Kenway, the main character, is a much more interesting character. And the gameplay is a lot more refined, especially the whole ship pirating sequences.
Yeah. Well, like, basically, isn't the general gist of the story is, like, Edward basically falls into, quote-unquote, being an assassin. He kills an assassin, tosses the wrist blade out, and is like, well, I'm a pirate now, but I guess I'll be an assassin, too.
Well, the thing is, he was a pirate at the beginning. It's just that he runs into an assassin and kills him and just takes his outfit as sort of like as revenge. And then everyone thinks he's an assassin. And so he's sort of like, yeah, I'm this. And he sort of goes along with it just so he can, like, you know, get money and stuff, which is his whole goal. And then he sort of gets called out for it. And it's neat seeing him change from being like, I don't care about anything except money, and seeing him sort of grow. Even though he's still sort of a badass and rude and a pirate, it's still neat to see how he's progressing to having a conscience. So right from then there, the character himself is so much better. So
do you agree with the some of the stuff I've heard that says that game doesn't actually become that game until you get the boat?
It's more like a standard Assassin's Creed game until you get the boat, and then it really opens it up. And of course, it's got a much shorter learning curve than AC3 does, and once you get the boat, which happens pretty quick, you can do whatever the hell you want. Just go out and pirate and pillage as you see fit. But the ship sequence is done a lot better because they tried to do that in AC3, and it was just sort of a standalone thing which had no point to the series and was kind of disjointed. But now it's really impressive because you can run around on land, hop on your ship, sail across the Caribbean, and then hop off and go to another place all in one seamless transition. And just the mechanics of that happening is pretty cool, especially when you board other ships and stuff. It's a fun game, so I enjoy it.
Yeah, it's on my list of ones that I need to grab at some point.
I'll probably get it on PS4 in a couple years when it's $20.
I got the collector's edition, so I got the statue and everything.
Ooh.
Yeah. I got all 3 statues. If you can...
True dedication.
Well, I got to see the...
If you need to cosplay, I know some place that you can get the outfit if you just want to be like, honey.
There's 3 guys.
Shink, shink, ha 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 ha.
Actually, I already have an Ezio cosplay, and then I do have the 2 wrist blades, the official Ubisoft ones.
Called it. All right. Let's see. More Borderlands?
Yeah, I actually, it was free on Xbox because they do this thing where they do free games like twice a month, and Borderlands is free. So I was like, I always wanted to play that, so I picked it up, and I can see why everyone loves it because it's a fun game.
Xbox is doing free games now, or
right? If you have an Xbox Live Gold account, the 1st and 15th of every month they'll put out a game for free, and it's actually not like the crappy ones. They put out good ones too. Like the first one was Assassin's Creed 2, that was free. I got Sleeping Dogs for free, Dishonored for free, Borderlands 2 for free. So it's nice that since they're charging me an ungodly amount for the service, that they give us a free game every once in a while. So that's good of them. So
yeah, it sounds like they jumped on and did the because that was what who was it? That was what PlayStation started doing that with their PlayStation Plus, and I had that for a good long while until I just recently closed it out because, well, I don't turn on my PlayStation that much anymore. I'm pretty much on Steam.
Yeah, until I get my game computer, it's going to be Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not getting an Xbox One, though, because I want to do the PC.
Okay. Yep. That's all right. That's good on that. And then what's this last one here?
What's what I put? Oh, Plague Inc. That's right. This is a cool game. It's the weirdest game, but it's also really cool. It's I don't know if it's for iPhone, but it's on Android. And what it is you are a virus, and your goal is to kill all of humanity.
Oh.
So it's a strategy game where you pick out what type of virus you are, like bacteria, nanovirus, prion, bioweapon. And the thing is, you start at a country, and you're in points, and you have to develop your disease. Like, how do you get transmitted? What are your symptoms? What are your abilities? And you see it as it spreads across the world. And it gives you updates and the news of what's happening in the world. And it'll say, like, there's a big bird migration, so that means you want to, like, work on making sure it travels by bird. And then there's trying to do a cure, so you have to stop the cure and evolve your DNA to stop the cure. The whole game is played out on a map of the world, and it's a simple interface, but it's difficult.
Yeah, it sounds like there was a similar one. I'm trying to remember. You may remember it, Jeremy. The game where you kind of chose you had 4 types of infection you could be, and then you tried to
Pandemic,
and Pandemic 2. Damn you, Madagascar!
Yeah. President Madagascar was on top of things. I've actually played the board game version of that. I got a friend, and he's really into board games. And totally, it's a collaborative game where all 4 players have to work together, and you normally lose pretty quickly, but we managed to win. You can actually you can lose the game even though you're not playing against each other. And we won on the last turn possible.
Well,
it's a really fun, intense board game.
Well, are you thinking? Well, because there's the Pandemic, which is the board game where you're trying to cure the world.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Where you're trying to cure the world.
Right. And there's I just remember that there's a game, the mobile game that was out there for a while. Is it It's under the same name, I think. Pandemic. Where you're trying to, pretty much wipe out the world.
Yeah.
So, I've actually just pulled it up. Plague Inc. From miniclip.com. Let's see if my phone can actually handle this thing.
It's a
freebie, so it won't cost you anything.
It starts free, but you have to buy it to unlock everything, and they have additional different types of viruses that you can get. It's extremely hard. It's frustratingly difficult. My best recommendation is starting Greenland and then just go out from there. That's how I learned to start every single. You would think start India or China, but you really Greenland and Iceland are the hardest places to infect. So start there and build out.
Yeah, once somebody shuts down everything, it's just like, I can't kill those people there. Damn you.
Yeah, and then you had to make sure you have like your infection set up really high to be a hyper infective, so it just travels on the air by itself. That's the only way to get that. But yeah, it's fun and frustrating. It's a really cool strategy game.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And let's see. You've got some TV here.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
TV.
Two of these I can talk about. American Horror Story. Let's start with that one.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about that. We've been watching every season of it. I like this season better than the last two. So
we watched
just
we watched the first one, and I was just kind of like,
I started watching the second one.
did you look at her? So she started watching the second. I watched the first one, and I went, all right, that's done. I feel icky.
Yeah, it makes you feel it's a dirty show.
Ugh.
It's like, what's the producer, Ryan? What's his name? He's the same guy who does Glee, Ryan Murphy. He's trying to like wash the Glee funk off him. So we're gonna have all the characters masturbating and murdering, and it's gonna be insane. And that's the entire first season.
Yeah, first season is just, oh man, like it is you just in each episode and you're like, I want to see where it goes next, but I know I'm going to be uncomfortable as hell.
Yeah.
Just
that's the name of the game.
Ooh. Oh, no, don't. Oh no. Oh God.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Like the drops of logic where you're just watching a character just go from like, all right, they're reasonable. They're reasonable. Oh God. No, don't. No, that's the wrong thing to do. That's the wrong. Oh yeah. God.
The only thing that the thing that bothered me about the show, which is totally off all the stuff that's wrong with it, is Zachary Quinto was in it. Spock or Siler from Heroes, but he was in this like right after he came out of the closet, and his character is the most in American Horror Story season 1 is the most flamboyantly stereotypical gay person ever. It's almost insulting, and it's like the fact that that's the first role he did like after coming out, I thought was kind of crappy.
Nah, he took the role.
Like, really?
He knew what he was doing. Just like, sure, he was effeminate as hell in that. But I don't know. Dude wouldn't have taken if he'd gotten upset, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
But I just thought it was that was kind of like come on, dude.
So
anyway.
the first season is the Murder House. The second one is the Asylum. And what's the third season?
Coven. So like the second season was all about Insane Asylum. And the second season was better than the first, but it was weird because they did everything. They did ghosts, they did monsters, they did aliens, they did insane people. It had everything in it. And the third one, they kind of went back to one central idea, and it's all about witches. So
okay. And you like the third one the best out of the three so far?
Yeah, it's the most. It's not as. It doesn't have the weird. Let's just try and freak people out of the first season, and it's a lot more cohesive than the second season. So I do like it for that.
Okay.
And they actually tie in some historical real life characters and stuff. And if you know anything about voodoo and things like that, they do make a lot of references to actual legends, and it all takes place down in St. Louis, not St. Louis,
New Orleans, I would guess.
New Orleans, yeah. So, but it's good. I like it.
Okay. All right, cool. That's good. The other one that you had here, there was a little bit of interest. I've only seen a few episodes, but Wander Over Yonder.
That is a great show. Oh my God!
What's in the box?
If you're not watching Wander Over Yonder, you need to. If you're a Brony or if you love any of the stuff that Mike McCracken and Lauren Faust have done in the past, you need to watch this show. It is straight up amazing. It's the show we all watch just as much as ponies here. I just can't talk about it enough how good it is and how funny it is. And my son loves it too. He's 5 and he's watching it right now. So
it's really good. You know, it's the episode. Hey, our friends over at Derpy News have a bunch of stuff on that now. They have a whole Wander Over Yonder thing, and you can secretly watch episodes. So, all right. So, what about these other ones? I've seen stuff for Almost Human, but sell it to me.
Almost Human is actually really good. I just watched it because I was like, I'm going to give it a shot. because I usually don't like TV sci-fi because it always comes off really cheesy, like Stargate or anything on sci-fi. You know, it's like this is going to have horrible CG and it's going to be really low budget and really campy, but it's not. Almost Human, the effects are really, really good in it. I'm amazed. It's actually very good quality sci-fi, so they definitely got a good budget on it. But it's neat because they play it off like it's a standard cop show. Like if you're watching any other cop TV show that there's a murder, they got to find out who it is, and the sci-fi aspect of it, it's almost like a secondary thing, which is cool because they have all this tech, but the tech is believable in it, and it plays off like a 21st century crime drama, but it's really neat. The characters are cool. Carl Urban, who's the main guy in it's awesome. The guy playing the robot's also really cool. So it doesn't need the sci-fi to be this really cool action cop show, but that's just sort of like the icing on the cake, if you will. So, and I usually don't watch cop TV because there's so much cop TV out there, which is kind of one of the reasons I almost didn't want to watch it. But I just saw Dredd, and I thought it was awesome. So I was like, I'll see. I want to see more Carl Urban being a badass, and he is a badass. So,
all right, cool.
If anyone saw Dredd,
I had not, though. I heard it was pretty good for a Dredd reboot.
Yeah, they did that one right. Carl Urban was really great in it. Everyone was good in that movie. It was just a kick-ass movie all the way around. Totally washes the Sylvester Stallone out of your mouth. That's the best thing about it.
It's always good to wash him out of your mouth.
The question is, why did you have him in your mouth to begin with?
Because you saw the first Dredd. I like comic books.
Hey, why do you get rid of me from your mouth? What are you doing washing me out?
It's like Carl Urban makes a better Dredd than Sylvester Stallone does.
Yeah, and you notice in that movie he has his helmet on the entire time?
Yes, he does. And he never takes it off. Which is cool, and he does a really good job of emoting through scowls. But he's
maximum scowls.
But is he the law?
He doesn't say that, thank God.
The law.
He's definitely a growly badass, but he plays it off and makes it very realistic. Sylvester Stallone's just over the top. I'm trying to be hardcore and everything. But the way Carl Urban played Dredd is that this is a guy who's been on the force his entire life. He's been shot at a lot, and he is just so jaded against everything. And it plays off really realistic. So he did a really good job of playing this very unrealistic character. So
okay,
made it really believable.
All right, that sounds cool.
And Almost Humans were great too, for staying on that.
And what the heck is Following?
Oh, The Following. This was another one of the Fox's shows. Premiered last year, and the second season is this year. Stars Kevin Bacon. Neither of you guys heard of this?
I haven't.
No.
Supposedly
Rick's
Sabrina
saying,
has.
Carl Urban does say "I am the law" once. I didn't even catch it. But The Following is Kevin Bacon is a FBI agent, and he spent his whole life, well, a big part of his career, like catching this one serial killer, caught him, and then wrote a book about him. And the serial killer, is a English professor who is obsessed with Edgar Allan Poe, and after the Kevin Bacon's character puts out a book about the whole investigation, catching, and trial, the serial killer gets a sort of a cult following. And it's pretty much the revenge against the FBI agent because he thought the FBI agent was a horrible writer, so he wanted to help him write a better book. So he uses his cult of serial killers to pretty much play hell with the FBI. That's pretty much all you can say without giving it away or getting too into it. But it was definitely a really cool series. And I didn't think they were going to have a season 2 based on the way season 1 ended, but it's coming out at the end of the month, so here's hoping.
Okay. All right. Well, that's cool. Big collection of what we've all been doing. About an hour and 15 minutes of that.
Like I said, I don't watch cop TV shows, but I just said I'm watching 2 cop TV shows. So,
but you are. Yeah, I cop TV shows have just gotten to the point of I think the only show I could logically watch that is a cop TV show is probably Psych, and that's not really even a cop TV show. That's more just like comedy wrapped around. It's the Pangalactic Gargle Blaster of cop shows. It's just a brick of comedy wrapped around, with a slice of cop.
That's the reason why I liked Almost Human, because I was so sick of cop shows because they're all the same show. And this one, being the sci-fi futuristic element, just makes it that much more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what makes that different.
Okay, cool. All right, well, let's see. We don't have a lot of news here. Stuff happened mainly in the pony front that we'll get to another time, however. I did want to bring up one thing as the news. Have either of you seen the Powerpuff Girl reboot that's out there?
The trailer?
The trailer.
I saw the trailer.
So there's a new thing for the Powerpuff Girls. It features What's His Beetle, Ringo Starr, doing a song on it. I think it's pretty god-awful.
I didn't see that one.
It shows the animation, so they're doing something. The only way I can really describe the art style that they're doing is it's very Animal Crossing. So it's polygonal, but with kind of a cel-shading twist to it. And
polygonal?
Polygonal, octagonal, however. But it's... I don't know. I mean, they're trying. It looks good in stills, but it's just... God.
Yeah, it looks good in stills. Jameson animated TV show.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen animated. It almost looks like paper mache stop motion-esque. It's hard to describe.
Yeah, but
I mean, it's smooth, but
it's kind of like just like how would I want a Powerpuff Girls to look? As like I would do it in Flash and make it with today's knowledge of how to make things look in Flash. Powerpuff Girls Z. I haven't seen Powerpuff Girls Z, though. That does look pretty cool. Like I like the anime style of that. Does look pretty interesting. So I guess if I were to try and get a feel for it, that's probably the more modern way to take a look at it. That's true. But yeah, I just thought it was weird to just like, hey, this is how we're gonna do a special on it, and I'm just like, I don't know if this is right. Like trying to tell
the art style.
Yeah, it's a bit of a diversion, at least for me, of just kind of like, if you were trying to like make an homage to it, I would have gone back to trying to make it in that style, but using today's like knowledge of Flash has changed a great deal since they originally made that show. But I think taking it completely out of that medium is kind of meh.
I just hope they don't do what they did to Teen Titans, because the new Teen Titans Go sucks.
See, I didn't have much. I saw some Teen Titans, but I didn't see the new stuff opposed to the old stuff, or I haven't seen any of the new stuff. So,
well, the old show was like a standard, like the characters were realistic. They had some anime influence, but it was for the most part a straight story. You know, it was like there was drama, there was comedy. The characters looked realistic, but they had these anime flourishes to them. Teen Titans Go, it's all like super chibi characters and totally outlandish slapstick style. It's a weird change.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, Mary Angelia agrees with me. Teen Titans Go is awful. Because I hope they don't Teen Titans Go the new Powerpuff Girls. That's all I can hope for.
Too late.
Yeah. Let's see.
I'm okay with an art style change. I just don't want them to go balls to the wall stupid like they did with Teen Titans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, we'll see. It's as I understand it, it is a special, so it is not a series. So maybe it'll just be kind of like a one and done. But we'll see. I said I don't know that much about it. I just seen the trailer that's been out there and kind of went, they could do better. All right, well, let's go ahead and jump to emails. There may be some other news. We'll catch it on another episode, but we're already pretty far along on this one. I'll go first, Jeremy second, and the other J as the third Z. So let's do this. Dear J and the other J, recently I sat through an episode each of Cartoon Network's The Amazing World of Gumball and then Uncle Grandpa. I'm not entirely new to either show, but the reactions they inspired to me, perhaps they made me overthink. On the surface, there are a lot of similarities. Both shows revel in absurdity, non sequitur, and playing with the viewer's expectations. Both shows make a habit of including characters that don't seem to fit with each other. Gumball's cast is composed of rejected commercial character designs, and Uncle Grandpa features a giant realistic flying tiger and a talking slice of pizza as main characters. Gumball really hooks me. I love the randomness and the self-awareness of the show and the characters and the writing. It's one of my favorite cartoons of recent memory. However, I don't really enjoy Uncle Grandpa. My take is that Gumball is more cleverly written and features more relatable, if exaggerated, characters. The gags rely on deceptively intelligent dialogue and genre savvy, which highlights the silliness of the whole thing. Even the characters remain oblivious to the reality they've pointed out to themselves. Let's see. And then with Uncle Grandpa, I see that it's a show trying too hard to ride the recent wave of randomness and meme-like absurdity. Show's characters seem more dim than usual for cartoon protagonists, not in a way that really makes me laugh. So let me see. I would say that Gumball relies on the intelligence and experience of the audience for the humor, while Uncle Grandpa tries to throw enough silly at the wall to try and make it stick. This is one fan's opinions. Any thoughts? Sincerely, the real Abba. Let's see. So I've seen Gumball. I have not seen Uncle Grandpa.
Yeah, that's the same situation here. I've seen some of Gumball and some of the stuff they've done. It's all right. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But Uncle Grandpa, not really.
Yeah, when I first saw the promo for Uncle Grandpa, I just did a big old nope on that.
Yeah, I mean, there's always been some weird hit and misses. Matter of fact, I remember a while back I was at one convention and was spending some time and caught up with Mike, and Gumball came on and was like, "Oh man, I hate that show." And then we watched it, and he's like, "How did I hate this show?" Like he just didn't understand. It just like it was the one with the 3D generated monkey teacher that was so pissed off and trying to get them to like do something wrong, so she had a valid reason to put them in detention, and just the absurdity of just what it was trying to do with the mesh and styles. It was really just so bizarre but cute in a way. Now granted, on the opposite side of stuff that happens with Cartoon Network, hey, remember that show when there was a talking butt that was a cop procedural drama that I was
Assy McGee?
Yeah, which I was like, I'm not going to get this ever.
But that was Adult Swim, and Gumball and Uncle Grandpa aren't.
Oh, okay, they're not?
No. And that's the thing about Adult Swim. Adult Swim goes, let's just make this as insane as possible, because only stoners are up late watching this anyway. So, and I think that's half of the marketing style behind that portion of the channel.
Yeah, so I actually didn't know that Gumball or Uncle Grandpa were part of just the regular cast of things. I don't know. I mean, they're probably just different approaches for everything that's out there. You know, I think Gumball does probably succeed a little bit more in being just a little bit more like, you know, just this weird crock pot of characters mixed together and then figuring it out. I don't know.
Yeah, they try to go maximum random.
Everyone's trying to make Adventure Time happen again, and there's a lot of misses on that. I feel.
Yeah,
but that's just me.
Adventure
it's
Time
also one of those. Maybe we're just too old.
Never.
Well, I mean, Adventure Time is good. I still haven't gotten to the point where Adventure Time is something where it's like I have to see what's next on Adventure Time. Like I can see where they're carrying a narrative, but it's so kind of lull random that it's like, I'll catch it when I catch it.
Well, that's the thing. Adventure Time started off like it's just lull random weirdness, but then you see that there's actually more to it. And I think other shows are trying to are hitting that weirdness, but not following through with that, like Regular Show.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes my skin crawl.
Really? Because I like Regular Show. I mean, it has its off points, but
I haven't seen anything from a regular show that's made me want to watch it. Any of it.
But
that's just
it's just. I wouldn't even say it's strange. It's more just kind of. I'd never say it by saying it's just kind of dude bro, but it's kind of what it is. It's just these little things of just like, these are just two, like, this is a raccoon and a bird that are just kind of hanging out, and then no matter what, something really stupid and bizarre happens.
Yeah, all their episodes kind of follow the same trend.
Mm-hmm. They're just like, hey, let's try and get around from doing this. We really don't want to. And it's like, oh, crap. We really shouldn't have done that, should we? Let's fix it somehow. Skips is going to get really pissed off. So, all right. Let's go ahead and move forward. Pico for Jeremy.
For me, yeah. I thought I put it into a separate cell. I goofed. Good day, honorable opponents. First off, your news ponies need not fear myself. Pico Pie coming after them. For when the time comes, they will come to me, and I will not harbor petty grudges. Secondly, I'm always confused when you guys skip reading emails on a week. Sometimes, if I send another email, you read both, and sometimes you only read the second. If I don't send a second, sometimes you read the old one, and sometimes you don't.
Keep you guessing.
I know sometimes you choose not to read the emails. That's fine, but I can't be the only one who wants to know what's the best way to email you in these instances. Well,
just send an email that states to ignore the previous email or to...
Please read air both.
Please read the email of which I am about to send to you, postmark date.
Yeah. All right. And lastly, I have a question that I've been sitting on because I don't know how to word it. It's about BabsCon. After the con that shall not be named, Cider, said that the Brony media, including yourself, should have paid more attention before the con. For me, some of the promotions sound similar in both tone and subject. They have a lot of guests for a first-year con, though I know some are local. They have said they have some unique con things coming as well, but then I haven't heard anything about these in a while. And when talking with others, they seem to bring everything back to their con, which is understandable and not unique. I do wish them the best, even though I won't be able to attend, and I think I might have simply missed something from their promotions, that every time they are interviewed, they seem to be asked the same questions. So I was wondering if you could take some time to plug your sponsor and help clarify this worry of mine away, and explain to me what BabsCon is doing differently. After all, a healthy con scene is good for all the cons. BabsCon, Nightmare Nights, BronyCon, and my favorite, Everfree Northwest. Have a good day. Pico Pie.
Good thing we have an answer on this.
Yeah, actually we do. Because, Pico, I'll be straight up honest, I had those same concerns myself. And,
I think everyone does now.
Well, yeah, every con is under a crapload of scrutiny, especially first-year cons. BabsCon is working directly with Anthropomorphic Arts and Education. They're the organization that runs a convention in San Jose that's actually going on this weekend called Further Confusion.
Yep.
It's pretty big. And the organization, similar to how the relationship with Nightmare Nights and Drama is similar to in that particular case. Financial backing, inventory, logistical support.
Which was something that Unicon didn't have. Unicon was simply by itself.
Was a pipe dream with no background and in a city that's averse to conventions in general. It's because it's incredibly expensive.
Well,
only things like
great
CES
if you have
are there.
It's great if you have an enormous convention. Vegas has been trying to get Comic-Con for years. Only reason they can't is that the only reason is because San Diego holds a death grip because they know how much money that brings in.
Yeah. But yeah, BabsCon isn't offering Brony bucks or anything similar. We've talked numbers with them, and they were straight up honest with me, and I appreciate that. I'm not going to say, oh no, it's, their numbers are X, Y, and Z, but they're doing much better at this point than Nightmare Nights was at the same point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had a little bit of conversation and went through kind of several points of just like, well, how's this? How's that going for you? How's, this and that, and, how's the numbers looking? How are things with the hotel? They're situated in probably one of the better hotels near the airport for conventions, like large tabletop or large games events.
AC and Josh and I, names. We're involved with that convention as well. We're going to be doing some VIP liaison stuff, and we don't want to tie ourselves to something skeevy, because we did talk to pretty much all the cons back pre-Unicon. We didn't know any better, and now we do.
Well, and even back then, we were stating that there were a lot of conventions popping up, and there was going to be a point where one of them failed. It was just kind of a matter of time before that happened. But I don't think any of us actually thought that it was going to end up being what that was. All the signs that we were being told at the time was like, oh yeah, it'll get there. All the
we were young and naive.
It was just it was one of those things of like, well, there's going to be one that has problems, but I think that nobody ever assumed that the one that would be the first one to have major problems would have problems as serious as it had.
Yeah. I think everyone was expecting something like Sweet Apple Acres to be the first example of something going bad. Just a con that was just trying and then just fell short, and not something that was supposed to be that big and crashed halfway through it so hard.
Right, you're right. It was monumental in the way that it collapsed.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason, and I think everybody puts a fair amount of scrutiny on every convention out there, and I know that the agents that sign these things put a fair amount of scrutiny. Some of the ways that I know Babs is able to get people is it's just kind of like, hey, you get to come to the Bay Area. That's pretty cool. But that's part of what it is. It's kind of a good halfway point between Vancouver and LA, where you kind of get half-seas on both of the talent pools. So.
Yeah, so
yep.
I understand your concerns, Pico, and we have had them as well.
Yep.
But
I think it should be good. I mean, if it does have problems, then I don't think we're ever going to have something where there's going to be a Unicon style meltdown again. I think everybody is keeping enough of an eye out there where if something doesn't succeed, it will succeed on its own merits, and it won't be something where it will, straight up harm the fandom. So, all right. Oh God, I don't know if I can deal with this next email.
So you want me to read it?
Oh God, I guess so.
Okay. To that other show, I don't know who they're talking about. It could be this other show or my other show.
Oh no, it's us.
I have some issues with you guys a couple episodes back when when it came to the Sonic comics. First, the comment where your guest said Rotor was gay. This was never the case when it came to the Satum show. Kim Penner's one of the previous writers for the comic series wanted to write Rotor as a homosexual. Thankfully, he never got a chance. Ian Flynn, as the current writer of the comics, says and he will never write him as a homosexual, as Rotor never showed any signs of being that way. Plus, he doesn't want to bringing that subject up in a kid's comic cap lock. When writing the Endgame story arc for 1997, Ken Penders planned for Sally to have died in the event, but fan reaction to Sally's death was massive, and Sega also wished to keep her alive for promotional purposes. Robotnik's permanent death was only allowed as an agreement he made with the Eggman. Robotnik was to replace the Satan one. I have no idea what the hell I am talking about. Having him in one of the other alternate dimensions where he just killed has killed Sonic. He was bored with the point and willing to cross time. What is this?
It's Fanon.
And it goes on and on.
Sounded uninformed. Okay, so I didn't know about the Rotor stuff.
There's a reason the comic series has lasted 22 years at this point. Please be mindful of that in the future. Till next time, your friend Exelhedge.
It doesn't mean that all the storylines in 22 years have been good.
Zing. Okay. So
I simply put, like, I got 50 issues into that thing and went, this is turning into a big pile of crap. There was a point where they're just like, we're going to high school now. Like, what? Like, this is a thing.
I sure
We're
hope
now in
Senpai
school.
notices me.
You know, it's. I could digress into some of this. As for the rotor stuff, you know, whatever. That was new to me. If it wasn't. However, I don't care. It doesn't diminish a character for me at all, whatever they are. So that really doesn't bother me if he was or if he wasn't. If that was the original creative director, I guess it only depends on what the character actually is. So just a big shrug there. I always thought it was weird with the in-game arc that Sega wanted to keep her alive, because for the longest time they wanted zero. You know what? They wanted zero influence on like the comic. Like they had straight up plugged their ears and just la 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 that entire thing. Like supposedly they saw the comic and the Sat AM stuff and went, yeah, we're not having anything to do with that. You guys go ahead and play around with that. That's going to be America's thing. But then this storyline comes around and they're like, no, you can't do that because people are getting upset. And completely, hey, when's the last time you heard about people getting upset and the large parent company making a change upon the smaller company to make them remove stuff?
Yeah. Oh man!
Fans get upset over fanon?
Yeah, so it got people upset there. You know what? I'm going to have an opinion. I haven't looked at the Archie stuff recently. I even have some of the Archie comics back here. I'm never going to believe that they are. I'm never going to believe that I am going to get like a really deep, interesting, meaningful story out of those. And maybe I will be totally wrong, but perhaps I'm just burned a little too many times on those and see them and just go, eh. You know, it's not for me anymore. I also understand that what that series has become is completely not what I originally enjoyed about that series. I don't care about Sonic driving a car. You know, I don't care that
he has to slow himself down.
Yeah, I don't care about him driving a car or being on a air surfboard or Shadow or anything like that, because that is just simply not part of what it was when I grew up and when I enjoyed the series. So I am being mindful of that in the future. So there you go.
Opinions.
Yep.
Dangerous.
All right. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. Cool things time. I need to find something. So Jeremy, you go first.
I got a couple of cool things. Just things I've seen around the net that are not pony related, but are pretty cool. A couple music. Well, one's a music video. Hyodane Hyodane, I guess is how you pronounce it, is a Japanese musician who used to do a lot of video game inspired songs. He would apply basically the whole what if video game song had lyrics kind of, except it's in Japanese, so you can't tell if it's stupid or hokey or whatever. It's pretty cool, and he put out a new one that I thought was kind of cool. I saw it on Japanator. And the second thing that I have is a link to the video segment for Brains by Ilario Voltaire, which is on the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. Basically, it was after the Weird Al segment got first posted. He retweeted several people that were like, oh my god, now that Ponies got Weird Al, we need to get Voltaire onto Ponies. Which is an awful idea, I think. But I
kind of like Voltaire, but I don't know.
Oh, I like him. I love his music and stuff. I don't think it fits.
I don't think it fits very well. But
I mean, Weird Al is silly and funny and doesn't sing songs about zombie prostitutes.
Doesn't have a large song. Yeah, correct.
Yeah, but yeah, Voltaire has done some kids stuff, but Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy is certainly not Ponies.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. He has that nice lullaby he made for his kid called Goodnight Demon Slayer, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right, Alpha, what you got?
What do I got? Okay. I have the real Hidden Blade, and I got two videos because one is the real air quote and the other is real cap lock. So the first one I have here is there's this, I can't even pronounce the name of the company that makes this, but using a 3D printer and a lot of brain power, this guy was able to make the Assassin's Creed 3 Connor Blade, which is the one that spins to a standard knife, which you can buy. It's $120, and you have to put it together and paint it yourself, but it is the most accurate, elaborate thing I've seen. Because it ejects, it locks, it spins, and it retracts by itself too. So it's pretty impressive that this guy was able to make one. So if you really want to cosplay and have a really cool blade, and you got $120 to burn, go get that one. And the other one is a real Hidden Blade, made by these guys called Men at Arms, which is an actual blacksmith who makes replica real weapons and stuff. And he did the real Hidden Blade from Assassin's Creed 4. And it's cool to see how they made it and how effective a weapon it really is. So check those videos out. They're both pretty cool.
Yeah, they recently did a like Sephiroth's Muramasa or whatever from Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
This ridiculously long, massive thing. It's like, what?
But they did like the way they did the Assassin's Creed Blade was cool because they started with the cosplay toy and they sort of worked backwards. They took it apart to see how it worked, and then they sort of redid the whole thing in metal. So it was pretty cool. And they made a scimitar too. So
Got scimitars.
Okay, well, I really don't have anything good to bring this week. I guess what I'll probably go ahead and plug is a few of my favorite YouTube channels out there. If you're not catching the Will Wheaton tabletops, you really need to go catch those because I'm a big board game geek. I'm happy that somebody is out there actually like parading around really interesting board games. He's actually helped me pick up a few that I found interesting, such as I actually picked up Unspeakable Words, which was one of the ones that they featured recently, which is a Cthulhu-based word game. I'm very interested to play this. But yes.
Word Thulu.
Word Thulu, where you try and score points, and then you roll a dice, and you hope you don't go crazy by the end of it. So I'm very interested to play that. That's going to be a good one with friends. Also, by the time you get nearly to the end of the game, and you're at the very edge of sanity, you can make up any word. So you can just lay down cards and make up words because you've gone insane. So that's great. So if you haven't checked out Tabletop, it's also great to watch Joss Whedon completely squirm, or Will Wheaton, sorry, to watch Will Wheaton squirm every single time he loses.
Know the difference. It could save your life.
It could. Tested.com, love them. They're good guys. And Giant Bomb Cast and all the Giant Bomb stuff. Their stuff is fantastic. So you should probably go check that. And let's see. Looks like XL left us a link here for Ginger Cat versus the Paper Army, which is a YouTube video. You can go check that out, and that would be something you can go see. And yes, XL, you totally missed your email. I'm sorry. Maybe for the best. Don't hate us. All right, that's good.
I totally screwed it up.
Oh yeah, we burned down every bridge. We're sorry.
Yep. Fandom over.
Will Jostin. All right, so let's do this. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. First off, thank you, Alpha, for coming in and talking some mess about other stuff that isn't Pony.
Yay! Yeah. I like to do that.
You're helping.
Gotta get the Pony out of your system occasionally so the next hit's better.
And I'm going to go back and play more Assassin's Creed, so.
Jeremy/Sandy.
You can count on me.
I do. And thank you all the fans that jumped in and listened to us rattle and prattle about the stuff that we're interested in. We're gonna have to formulate and figure out how to do this a little bit better in the future. Just we got to do this enough times so we figure out the right way that we like to do this. But we're glad that you're joining along and listening to us and hearing us gab about everything and being very uninformed about everything. So,
yeah,
enjoy that. Okay, well, for our other show and all the other stuff, if you're interested, BronyShow.com, BronyvillePodcast.com. You can email across us to Bronyville@gmail.com. You can join us roughly every Saturday, noon Pacific, at justin.tv/BronyvillePodcast. BronyTime.com, someone put here?
That's me.
I guess.
That's my show.
That's your
so
kid.
If you want to see more ponies, if you can't get enough of these guys, come check out our show.
I guess
you should. Yeah, you should listen to them. They're pretty cool guys.
I guess.
I do what I can with what I got.
He's nice. He's not as professional, but he's nice. iTunes reviews.
No one can be as professional.
No one. iTunes reviews, we love them. So if you like this show or like our other show, please leave us one. Keeps us up there in the ratings, and, well, we like staying up there. My Twitter account is at Bronyville.
Mine's at Chef Sandy.
And mine's at Alpha_Brony.
And conventions, BabsCon is the only one on my radar right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're going to be there?
No. I'd like to. But
Well, then why did you say yeah?
well, it's on my radar because we're a sponsor for they're a sponsor for us too.
Oh.
So you can use the Brony code BronyTime10 and get 10% off your registration.
But why would you do that? Because you could use Bronyville10, get 10% off your...
Well, see, whenever I use my code, 5iron likes to throw in your code. It's like, why are you doing that? It's our show. We're promoting ours. They have their code. They do it on their show. It's like, but we should do it. I'm like, no, we don't have to.
They can only register once.
I don't think that they're going to choose which one they love better as long as we're giving them hits.
Which one of these is our bigger friend?
Yes.
All right. And, all right, that'll take care of us. Thank you all for joining us. We'll be back next week with Pony. And we'll talk pony.
Pony.
Pony poeme. That's
man.
That's a different version of the of My Little Pony. Anyway, we'll catch you next week. Till then, sleep well, everyone.
Adios.
Vaya con Dios.
Hit the button, sweetie.
You're all free now!
Fun.
No.
Yeah!